And we are live. So, welcome everyone who's jumping on. Today I have with me my good friend and also fellow grad student at NAU,
Mhm.
Jennifer Owusu. And am I pronouncing that
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah,
Yes.
you're right.
Okay,
Mhm,
so Jennifer's here from Ghana. She's studying statistics, and so we're both going through a statistics program. As
mhm.
people may be aware, I've been an actuary going back to school so I can teach actuarial science. But Jennifer and I connected because she's very interested in the profession as well. So, without further ado, welcome Jennifer. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very, very much for having me.
You're welcome. So,
Uh-huh.
I like to start these things off with just kind of a quick introduction, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dive in.
Okay, so Jennifer also is my name, and let me talk about my family. All right, so
Yes.
I'm coming from a yeah, so I'm coming from a family of seven. I have two brothers, two sisters, and then my parents, my mommy and daddy. And I attended Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. I mean, I'm a Ghanaian, of course. All right, and I pursued actuarial science during my undergrad studies, and currently I'm here now by God's grace in the U.S. pursuing my master's in Northern Arizona University.
Awesome. And so, yep, that's
Mhm.
how we met last year. We're both in Flagstaff. There's only what, seven of us that are second year GTAs now in the program.
Yes, yes, yes. We are
So,
seven. Yeah, we are
yeah,
seven.
so we're a pretty small program, which makes it fun. Um, but I wanted to kind of start off. I was wondering what really inspired you to study your master's in stats over in the U.S.
Okay, so I wanted a different environment to further my education in. And I mean, this is actually my first time of moving out of my country to a different place. And my focus was on getting a place with actuarial science very, very developed, and then getting a place with a great educational system. So I actually had US, Canada, and then Australia in mind. Yes, and amazingly, or fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, all the schools that I decided to apply to were in the US.
Yes.
All right. And I got admitted, I got funding. So that's why I'm here.
That's awesome. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, for those who don't know, both of us are GTAs or graduate teaching assistants, so it's a fully funded program. We end up teaching some classes while we're taking our grad classes as well.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and I was curious, how would you say the education system is different here in the U.S. versus Ghana?
Okay, so the education system in the US is different in Ghana. Like, I mean, there are some differences. Okay, so for actuarial science, we all know that actuarial science is a professional course, and then you would be taking exams as you pursue the course,
Hmm.
right? Okay, so lectures are structured in a way that encourages the students to write their exam. I mean, like as soon as possible. Let's say after taking financial mathematics in your first year, all right. But something that I see in US that is yet to come up in Ghana is that in the US, I think in most universities, okay, students are given some incentives. All right, so it's either have or your everything. I mean, the whole amounts that you use in registering your exam is
Yep.
reimbursed. Okay, but in Ghana, I think it is something that is now coming up, and it is now coming up. Okay, and I am hoping that it is going to get developed, and then more students will be sponsored in writing their examination.
Yeah.
All right. And secondly, what I also see in the US is that kind of friendly or cordial relationship, okay, that exists between the professors and then their students. All right. So
Yeah.
a
Uh-huh.
professor, so a professor in US doesn't really mind you calling them by their first name, and then asking about how they are doing. But back in my country, it looks inappropriate for a student to do that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
They
basically, apart from that difference, I think the educational system is similar.
fairly similar, yeah.
Like, uh-huh,
Yeah, I would say there is that informality there. Although I have had
uh-huh.
professors in the past who don't like when you say but their first name, like they want to be
Oh,
Doctor
okay.
such and such. But it's more rare. Usually they don't mind either way. So
Yeah.
yeah. So when did you first hear about the actuarial profession or learn about it?
All right. So this is very interesting. I was in my senior high school in my fourth year, and I had a family friend come around to visit me in school, and she was at that time pursuing her master's in the university, and we were discussing, I mean, like bringing up some of the programs that you can offer when you get to the university. And during my senior high school, I was majoring in general science. Okay, so we were talking about some of the courses that you can
Mm-hmm.
take as a science student. And she was the one that brought actuarial science up. I didn't know about it. I mean, like, I had
Okay.
no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no, yeah. And she made mention of this course being very, very challenging and that you need a very strong mathematics background and that you'll be taking exams alongside. And she also made mention of it being fun, but she said it was challenging. And I love
she made
mathematics,
she made mention of it being fun.
of it being fun in quotes.
We're like, yeah. Actually, I do think it is a fun profession, but it's challenging.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I love math, and then I also love to pick up challenges. So
Yes.
I decided to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know
Uh,
you told me that you've passed a couple of the exams so far, and I know you're
mhm.
working on, is it STAM right now? Is what you're studying
Yeah,
for?
STM. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how do you feel about the exam process overall? And would you say there's much difference between the United States and Ghana in terms of taking exams? I know, like, here, a lot of the initial exams are at prometric centers. Um, is it fairly similar between the two?
Yeah. Okay, so Actuarial exam. Okay, so Actuarial science in general can actually make you a nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Can make you an I've already fully accepted I'm a nerd for a long time. Yes.
Yeah. So
Not only can it make you a nerd, it does make you a nerd. Yeah, I agree.
okay, yeah, yeah, true. All right, so this was what happened. Okay, so let me start from my undergrad. Okay, so after my completion of my undergraduate studies in actuarial science,
Hmm.
um, I I was part of the best five in my class. So we were given a scholarship.
It's
All
impressive.
right. So in the scholarship, we were given that privilege to take as many exams as you can, okay, within 2 years. All right. So that was a driving force that made me want to write the exams because I've been given this opportunity. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you hardly get funded. So if this has been given to you, why not pull through? And it has been quite challenging because you do hear of people passing their exams, and sometimes you think, this exams got to be easy. I mean, taking financial mathematics and the probability, it
yeah,
got to be easy, but you actually need more time,
yeah.
yeah, to study and then solve as many questions as possible, yeah, uh, before sitting for an exam. And I would say it is more of dedication and then determination. All right. And
Hmm.
by God's grace, I've been able to pass my probability paper, my financial mathematics paper, and then I have my V claims also. I did apply for them
Oh,
last
the
November.
the VE
The
credits.
V,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the V,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, and I will be sitting for the STM in October,
yeah.
hoping to
You
pass.
got it. Fingers crossed. I
Yeah,
know you got this. Yeah, I feel like
thank you.
STAM is like all the stuff that we're studying in school with stats, I feel like
Mhm.
STAM of all the exams is probably the most overlapping with a lot of the subjects that we study. Like maximum
Yeah.
likelihood estimators, I know, are a big part of that. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
then
Very
there's
true. Like
like
so much going on.
frequency, severity, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Loss reserving,
yeah,
rate making. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
that's awesome. And I know this summer you told me that you're doing a summer kind of actuarial training or learning program. Could you give us an idea of kind of what you're doing for that?
Yeah, so I am partaking in the CAS, the Casualty of Actuary Society, yeah, student summer program, and I really love the program, and I love my group too. Yeah, so I'm in a group of five, and
That's
it
great.
has been very very interesting. Yeah, so I'm learning so much from it. I learned something on rate making. I mean, um, there are a lot of factors that actuaries do consider before pricing a product or a policy, and we also discuss loss reserving, you developing a loss and then trending it. And then we also talked about predictive modeling, and we
Hmm.
did a lot in Excel also. Yes. So learning how to visualize data in Excel, cleaning up data in Excel, and then with a pivot table to, yeah.
Organize
And
the data. Yep.
uh-huh, yeah, like so many things going on. You being
Yes.
able to calculate the loss ratio,
Uh huh.
and and there was a case competition for the groups. Okay, and for my group, unfortunately, we were not able to pull through to the finals. But this was how the case study is.
And I'm sure you
So
you were competing against a lot of different groups
a
though.
lot. I think
Yeah.
50 groups or so. Yeah, 50
Yeah.
groups. Yeah, 50 groups. And we were in a position of advising a client, a university, to either go in for a safety feature for their vehicles or
Uh huh.
not. Okay, so we had to work on some research. And for my team, the implementation cost was so much for the university. So we decided to advise the university not to go in for these safety features, and that they can go in for these safety features if they can find ways of reducing the implementation costs. And it was very interesting. I really enjoyed the whole
That's
process.
that's awesome, and it sounds like
Yeah,
they did some real foundational actuarial stuff with rate making, reserving.
everything.
Those are two of the big
Yeah.
actuarial functions, and then
Mhm.
forecasting, a little predictive modeling, um, and then you know. You mentioned Microsoft Excel. It sounds like you've gotten some good experience with that. It's funny because it's one of those tools that you would think at some point actuaries would transition from using that to something else, but I don't think that's going to happen for a long time because
Mhm.
there are a lot of powerful, database tools, programming tools, but it
Yeah,
just
very
tends
true.
to be
I agree with you.
so
Mhm.
easy to update Excel on the fly. So, like if you're in a meeting looking at numbers, there's not really anything like it for doing quick calculations. And so that's why I'm like, well, yeah, it would be. In one sense, it's like it would be nice to transition to something else, but I just don't. It's too easy to use for modeling and for doing quick calculations. So, so I think it's a
Mhm.
good skill to have.
Mhm.
That was my
Mhm.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
the toolkit that I'm working on, the actuarial toolkit, is all Excel related tools and to help with efficiency within Microsoft Excel. So,
Nice.
yeah, very specific to that. But
Mhm.
I did want to ask you your plans once you're done with this program. Would you like to work as an actuary in the U.S.? Would you like to continue your education? What are kind of your plans after this?
Okay, so I would say that it is both. Yeah, I really, really, really want to work in the industrial industry. Yes, like I want to be exposed more, okay, in how these actuarial concepts are used in real work. you know there's a difference. I mean, you picking a book and reading,
Yes.
and then you applying what you have learned in the field. So I really want to get the experience, okay, yeah, in the field. And I currently want to be a NASA. All right. So it is my plan to
Yeah, an
write
AS. Yeah,
all the
you
exams.
will get to an ASA. I know you will.
Yeah, yeah,
You've made
yeah.
good progress. So any employers that are watching, Jennifer wants to work in the U.S. She's awesome, really smart, team player. I mean, I've been in school with her for a year now, so I think Jennifer would be a great addition for
All
anyone who's
right.
watching. um,
Thank you.
yeah. Um, And yeah, getting your ASA too is going to be huge. I feel like it's weird because a lot of the exams do have practical applications and kind of that thought process you use at work.
Mm-hmm,
But you're right that
mm-hmm.
um, the day in and day out, it's very different than taking an exam, which is why it's good you're doing this like summer program, kind of getting a feel for what you do with the
Yeah,
data.
yeah. Very, very true. Very, very true.
So I wanted to ask you. I know you haven't really had as much professional experience yet, but if you were to compare like the actuarial profession from what you know in Ghana to what you've kind of heard about in the U.S., would you say that there's a difference there?
Okay, so I wouldn't really say there is that much difference. And actuarial science is very, very developed in the US as compared to my country, Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think actuaries are undertaking a lot of projects here in the US as compared to Ghana, but they are quite similar. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'd
Mm.
imagine. And I mean, the insurance industry in general. Do you know if there's like a lot of insurance companies in Ghana? And because like I know in the U.S. the need for actuaries has grown quite a bit. A big part of that is due to health insurance and the complications within health insurance. Of course, actuaries work in many other areas as well. Um,
Mhm.
but do you know what the insurance industry is like there?
Okay, so there are quite a number of insurance companies here in the US, yeah, as compared to my country. I
Mm-hmm.
think in my country, the actuarial science is still developing. So
Yeah.
um, we do have major. I think we have about five major insurance
Mm-hmm.
companies here in Ghana, but like the smaller ones are still coming up. But as compared to the US, I think US is having quite a number of insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting. So, what
Yeah.
would you say for any potential employers that might be watching? What would you say is your number one skill?
Okay, number one skill. I am
Number
going
one
to
skill.
say a lot of skills. All right. So Jennifer also really loves to be challenged, and I always want to grow in every aspect of my life. So I am ever ready to learn something new. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ever ready to learn something new. And then I can code in R. I can do lots of things in Excel, and still learning. You're still learning more, still learning more.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so
Yeah.
that's like uh-huh.
Yeah, and I know the R course that you took. There's a lot of technical stuff we did in that course. And
Mm-hmm.
are you doing the
Yeah.
statistical computing course next semester?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm taking that
Yeah,
course.
we're gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm
in that
taking that
together. So
course.
yeah, that one
Uh-huh.
apparently,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, it's gonna be pretty R programming heavy. So it should be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I'm bringing diversity on board. I
Yes.
mean, a team player, so many things going on, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, you are. I mean, you got everything. You're bringing diversity on board. You're a team player. You are ready to learn, and you can program and do math.
Uh-huh.
You got it all. So, okay. I was curious now, kind of transitioning from the actuarial stuff, just your experience moving here from Ghana. I know you've been here for about a year now. What do you think about U.S. culture in general, and how would you compare that to where you're from? And I know it's a funny comparison because we're in a small little town in Flagstaff, Arizona, right? But still, I
Mm-hmm.
think you get a
Mm-hmm.
sense for the U.S. culture.
Yes, so in the US, I see US as a more free world. Okay, so it looks like you can do anything that you want, wear anything that you want to wear, and say anything that you want. I mean, all right. So I remember going to fitness about 4 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a grown man. I think he should be in his 70s or so, like quite a grown man, and he was actually jogging, and he was not putting on any top. I mean,
Yep.
he was topless, no shirt,
Yep.
and it looks normal here.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
I do
but
that a lot.
yeah, but in my country, I mean, somebody as old as 70 years jogging
you
topless
you
will
you
look
got to cover that up.
inappropriate.
That is hilarious.
So,
Wow, interesting. So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
and
hardly ever see that there.
hardly. I mean,
Yeah.
I hardly see that in my country. All right, and then something very good that I have also noticed in the US is that whether you are young, whether you are old, you are given that freedom, that liberty to communicate your views. I mean, you are bold to put out your opinions concerning topics and subjects.
Mhm.
But back in my country, as a young person growing up, it is more about listening than
Mm.
speaking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Well, there
yeah,
could be advantages to that as well. you get you get a
yeah,
little bit of a, I think you're right that, with the freedom of expression and opinion, it's a wonderful thing, but you can also get a lot of division because of it, but it can also be a good thing,
sure.
right? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It
so
can.
yeah, interesting. So compared to your home city, which is it Accra, Ghana?
Yeah,
Uh,
Accra, Ghana.
Flagstaff, I
Mhm.
know, is quite a bit smaller. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. So I would say, yeah, Flagstaff is smaller, but I wouldn't say Flagstaff is tiny. And in my, I mean, Accra is crowded, yeah, as compared to Flagstaff. I think our population should be more than 5 million.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
It
it's
should be
it's a
more than
decent
5 million
size,
in
and I think
Accra.
in Flagstaff we've got like 75,000 or something like that. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So okay, most important question: what is your favorite type of Ghanaian food? And then on the other hand, what's your favorite type of U.S. food?
Mhm. All right. So my favorite kind of Ghanaian food. Okay, so it's jollof rice with chicken, and I wouldn't mind garnishing my food with some salad. All right,
Okay.
yeah. So
Some
yeah. So
salad
that's
like
my favorite.
like greens and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Some healthy
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the US,
And for the record, Jennifer and some other Ghanaians invited me for eating a bunch of traditional dishes. I can't remember what all I tried, but it was very delicious. I think I had the
yeah, so
jollof
uh,
rice.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, I think so. I think jollof rice and then some goat meat too.
Oh, I had
But
goat
that
meat.
one was too hard for you.
I did not like the goat meat.
Yeah.
No, that was too like when I chewed on the goat meat, I couldn't even hardly bite into it. It was so chewy. Yeah, no, I was not a fan of that. But the other food I liked.
Uh-huh. All right. So about my favorite American food. I do not have a favorite American food, yeah, as it stands now, but I do enjoy the pizza, and then I did enjoy the turkey that mommy prepared during the Thanksgiving,
Ah, yes. Yep.
yeah, holiday,
So,
yeah,
yep.
true, yeah.
My
Mhm.
Jennifer was at our house for Thanksgiving along with several others, and my parents prepared a turkey, which was delicious. It was good. I liked it too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So shout out to mom if you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, delicious turkey. um, yeah, but I mean, who could not like pizza? That was a good choice. I feel like that's a staple here. I try not to eat too much of it, but it is delicious.
Oh, okay, but I have been taking a lot of it here. I mean, I really enjoy it. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, it's good. All right, so favorite hobby outside of now everyone kind of has an idea. You're into statistics. You like actuarial science. Now you've moved here to the U.S. What does Jennifer like to do for fun?
Okay, so for fun, I do enjoy soccer. Yeah, I do
Oh, you
enjoy
like so
soccer.
you actually called it
Yeah,
soccer instead of football.
uh-huh, uh-huh,
I'm proud of
uh-huh.
you.
So so I'm a Chelsea fan and then a Real Madrid fan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I do play cards with my friends, yeah, most of the time when I'm free. And I enjoy watching movies.
What kind of card
Yeah, a
games do you
lot.
like?
Okay, so the standard deck card,
Uh huh.
yeah,
Do you play like
that one.
poker or like I mean, I know with poker we have to calculate probabilities of all the poker hands
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
and statistics. Like, what's the
uh-huh.
probability of three of a kind, stuff like that.
Yeah, so many things going
Uh
on.
huh.
So I do enjoy playing cards with my friends, especially the guys around Seb, Daniel,
Yep.
and the rest. Yeah,
Ah, nice. That's
yeah,
fun. And movies and yeah, no, that's
movies.
great. Have you been able to? Well, I know Daniel went on a hike here. Have you gone on a hike yet? I know you went to Sedona, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I went there with my roommates and it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
that's great. All right, final question is what is the best place that you have traveled to? Um, Now that you've gone, I know you've gone across the US, you've moved here to Arizona, um, or in Africa.
Yeah, so New York State, I mean, it's been fun. It's been fun, yeah. So I went there during the Christmas holidays last
Yeah,
year
yeah, that's awesome.
and I went to Manhattan and we went to the Times Square, and it,
Yes.
it was so fascinating. I mean, seeing all these televisions on buildings. I mean, it was a beautiful place. And I've also been to Las Vegas, and that place is also very beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not too far
Mhm.
from Flagstaff, actually. It's only like,
Oh,
I think like a
yeah.
3.5 hour drive from here.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
all right.
But
I didn't know
New York
that.
City is very, very different than Flagstaff. That is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very,
Manhattan,
very
it's
different.
pretty crazy there, huh? Like just the
Uh-huh.
amount of
Yeah.
people, and of course it's probably a little
A
different.
lot of people. Yeah, very, very crowded. I mean,
Yeah,
like we were many. A lot of us
yeah,
were there, and then people were taking pictures with their family, with their friends. It was wonderful.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Might be a little different after COVID, but I think they're rebounding a bit. So hopefully it
mm,
gets back to normal again.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if you know
yeah.
this, but kind of one of the big actuarial hubs is in Connecticut and New York. Like, there's a lot of insurance
Mhm.
companies on the East Coast, so you kind
Yeah.
of have a hub there of actuaries, and then the Midwest you got actuaries, and then the West Coast we're all kind of spread out. Um,
Hmm.
Not as many as on the East Coast, but of course now it's changing a lot because as an actuary you can work from pretty much wherever. So um,
Hmm.
so when you are looking
Oh,
for jobs and everything, the East Coast is a big hub.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that was it. But
Oh.
Jennifer, thank you for jumping on. It was great to interview you, even though we talk all the time anyway. So
Yeah, thank you so much for having me too.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And we're starting up our faculty work week tomorrow, so we'll be on another Zoom call for that. So I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. See you too.
and everyone who's watching, thank you for joining. Uh, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. And have a good rest of your day.
All right.
And we
Bye.
are out.